Hey everyone, do you love to play fetch with your dog? Check this out. Get the ball. Ha ha ha, like a pinball machine, if you guys remember that. There we go. Let me throw it one more time here. Nothing like it playing fetch with your dog. Captain loves the ball. If I show him a ball even more than a treat, the rest of the world just quits spinning. All he thinks about is this ball. Ready, cow dog? Here we go. Attaboy. Attaboy. Good job, dude. Good job. All right. Now, why would Captain want to voluntarily do wind sprints? I mean, after all, really, is he trying to get in shape? Is he trying to work out? Heck, I feed him. Why would an animal want to do that? Because, again, I've told you many times that life for these animals at a fundamental level is nothing more than an exchange of energy for more energy. So they are very energy conservation type animals. So why would he chase that ball over and over again? And Captain, by the way, would chase this ball till he dropped dead. So I'm the one that has to be smart about how many times he goes after the ball. Why? Because of this yesterday. That's why I did this. Because he still has wolf in him. It is the thrill of the chase. The chase. That's because he still shares all of his mitochondrial DNA, all of it, except for 0.2%. All right, in other words, he is 99.8% wolf still. And it's the absolute truth. And if you know anything about biology, anyone with an ist on the end of their name, they do not dispute this, that you cannot separate behavior from biology. If you do so at your own peril. So again, our dogs are still part of this tree over here. They're not part of this tree over here. And we really have to embrace that. Why else would your dog lift its leg to leave a scent post on the fence that is surrounding your property? I mean, after all, we kind of go, dude, there's a fence. I know exactly where our property is, and so do all the other dogs. Why does your dog not want to come to you when you first train it? It's not natural. Wolves don't call wolves to them. If I want something to do with you, I'll simply move to you. Because two things. One, the closer I am to you, the more influence I have over your behavior. And number two, I don't have to communicate using an auditory signal because that would just alert everyone else out there in the animal kingdom that we wolves are here. And lastly, why would your dog attack you or another guest or someone in your family or another dog in your family over a bowl of food? Now you're thinking, gosh, I spend $100 a month on food, so why are you attacking me? Because they're not humans. They don't understand that you're going to feed them for the rest of their lives. They simply operate off the internal mechanisms that's associated with only being different by 0.2%. And guys, we have to understand that. We have to accept that because we humans are just hung up on this phenomenon known as anthropomorphism, where we think we own fur babies instead of real babies, or we're fur mommies and fur daddies. I tell you where that'll lead you. It's really unfair to the dog because here's why. The dog's never been a human, never going to be a human. Yes, they have domesticated some, and in a recent study done by Dr. Walter Hendricks over in Utrecht Veterinary School of Medicine in the Netherlands, in his study, he said we did find variations in the genes, but these neuroatomic genes variations were nothing more than what we just really kind of chalk up to adaptive shifts. So just in other words, we adapted to living with humans. But he says those little changes in genes are certainly not enough to cause the entire evolutionary behavior behind a canine to alter and change. It's just not enough. Guys, for mitochondrial DNA, which can track a human all the way back to Eve, for it to change by 1%, 1 whole percent requires 100,000 years. That's why we know that dogs and wolves at one point were the exact same creature about 40,000 years ago. And now they have gone on their own little evolutionary path. And dogs have made some shifts in their behaviors to be able to cohabitate with us. But still, at the end of the day, they are a dog, which is connected to a wolf and in no way connected to being a human. And when we expect them to be humans and we classify them or we label them as fur babies, then the problem with labeling anything is how it affects your thinking about that thing. Case in point, just recently I had clients whose dog ate her underwear. Now again, some of you are probably laughing, but how many dogs have actually done that? He ingested the underwear that was left laying on the floor. Well, the next day, while the dog was relieving itself, well, fortunately, the underwear came out. And when it did, the client punished the dog, showed the dog the fecal encrusted underwear. Good Lord, how gross is that? And actually punished the dog, thinking that the dog would actually put that together because it's a human. It's a little person in a fur coat. No wonder my full-time job is really dealing with dogs who suffer from psychiatric type disorders, just like human psychiatric disorders. Well, I do a lot of what's called canine pharmacotherapy. You wonder why. Guys, we don't owe humans, and we need to accept that. There's a wonderful thing about simply owning a dog. And this is going to be important for you to understand this going forward when I talk to you about future training, why they do what they do. I already used it in jumping. Why do they jump? They want to be head level. That came from here. It didn't come from here. Dogs lift their legs to leave scent post. It came from here. It didn't come from here. They will attack their owners. I wrote a book, The Hammer, Why Dogs Attack Us and How to Prevent It. Why? Because these dogs attack their owners for various reasons, even though their owners had been wonderful, wonderful human beings, had been so selfless in their care of these animals. But at the end of the day, I'm from here. I'm not from here. So when we accept this, we accept dogs for what they are, and therefore what we do for them is we give them the ability to simply adjust to our world in a way that they can. We don't put unreal expectations on them. We don't. We don't sit there and punish them a full day later thinking they can put that together. We keep within the boundaries of nature. This is a dog. I'm a human. I'm quite capable of many things that a dog cannot do. And dogs are quite capable of doing many things that a human can. But when we go down the road and down the rabbit hole thinking that we own a little person in a fur coat, you've done a horrible, horrible disservice to the dog. And this is why so many dogs end up being sent off to the shelter, to rescues, and eventually, if they're not adopted, euthanized. Because again, from the previous sheet that I had yesterday, we tried to fill that void. If my dog does this, remember, I cannot stand the absence of logic. So I've got to put some logic in there. And if we're humans, all we know how to do is put human logic into it. But guys, over the next 300 plus days, I am going to keep referring back to this. I'm not going to show you this chart anymore. That's the end of this chart. But I am going to refer back to the phylogenetic relationship that dogs still share with their wolves. And anyone out there that says that that's not true, that doesn't happen anymore, you're wrong. Okay? I told you that. I'm going to shoot you the truth, whether you like it or not. You're dead wrong, okay? And I don't want your dog to suffer for that, and I don't want you to suffer because you put these unrealistic expectations. All right, now I've got another little treat for you here. Because you see Captain here, the whole world is going away. You guys are going away because all he wants is that ball. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little leash on him because what I'm going to now do is I'm going to have Joshua come out with his dog. And you already met Vesper in a previous video. And Vesper is going to demonstrate hunt drive. When we train dogs to find narcotics, explosives, anything, even to detect low blood sugar on a diabetic, we use hunt drive, that natural hunt drive that comes from being, again, having an ancestor that's a wolf, where I have to hunt. Again, Vesper is very well cared for, but she still wants to hunt. So I'm going to take this little toy here, and I'm going to hide it, and I might as well just make it quick and hide it right underneath this cone right here, so as you guys can see. And make sure it's all the way underneath there. Okay, now there's 3 cones in here, and now I'm going to ask Joshua to come in here with Vesper, and let's see if Vesper can find this toy underneath these cones. All right, Joshua, come on in. All right, so here comes Vesper and Joshua, And again, this is hunt drive. When Captain chased the ball, that was prey drive. I could see my prey. I pursued my prey until I overtook and captured my prey. This is different. This is the wolf that does not see its prey, but uses its nose to locate its prey. All right, Joshua, do your thing. Is that it? Yes. Oh, good girl indeed. Very good. Very good. So again, whenever we train these dogs, and Vesper really loves her toy, just like Captain loves his toy. When we train them, we have to utilize hunt drive. Not human drive, good old wolf hunt drive. Okay, guys, that's going to wrap up today. Today is day 16 on my 365-day journey. I'm really glad I got through today because my allergies just hit me last night like a freight train. So I'm absolutely surprised I can still even talk or even communicate with you in any sort of way. But like I told you before, 365 days, and I meant it. Today is 16. We have many more days to go. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about communication. How do you communicate with your dog? And the way that it understands, not you, how it understands. Vitally important. And that'll be day 3 of this 5-part little mini-series that I'm doing, which will lay the foundation of all future videos that I do. Thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it. I'm going to throw the ball a few times for Captain in here because he's been going, come on, Bryan, you've been talking a lot. Just throw the darn ball. All right, so let me let him off his leash. All right, buddy, go after it. Okay, you guys have a great day. Take care.